Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and a good morning to you. Today I have a really simple card. Let me get it out. It looks like this, right? Just a simple, what I call a black and white card. And I had a couple of events this month and I needed a bunch of cards. So I usually do something that's kind of simple, like this one, but it has a little bit of wow effect. And so let's just go ahead and let me show you and let's get started. I've done most of the work beforehand. Now we're going to use the contours, color and contours die and the scalloped contours dies, which are one of my favorites. I love these dies, especially these rectangles here that are scalloped. Great. And I think this is the first time that I've used this die, but whatever. And now that the retirement list is coming out the middle of March, it kind of makes me use some of those stamp sets that I don't use very often, which is this one. I really like the wording on this one, but the flowers and stuff, I don't know, they didn't appeal to me, but I think my card turned out kind of cute. So let's just go ahead. So I'm going to start here with a couple pieces of basic white. Now these are just scraps that I made sure that this die right here fit on. And when I want to make a bunch of cards like these, usually I die cut and then I stamp. And with this stamp set being photopolymer, it works just fine that way. So let's bring in that little mini cut and emboss machine that's on sale right now. So with the cut and emboss machine, what you get is you get the little machine, you get all your plates that you need. So you would get the number 1, the let me see if I can find them, the number 2, there's 2 of them. Now these are new ones. I wanted to show you how they come like this in a new little pack. And then you get the 3 and the 4. Now the 3 and the 4 you'll use for embossing, and then the 2, both 2s you'll use for die cutting, and the platform you'll use for die cutting. So let me get these are my chewed up. This is what they look like after you use them a bunch. But we're going to put number 1 and number 2 on there. And then I'm going to take both of those sheets of basic white. That's what I like to do the die cutting first, because you can do 2 pieces of cardstock at one time, especially the basic white, because it's a little bit thicker than your colored cardstock. But look, you can run 2 of those through at a time. Yay. And there you go. And did I mention that the little mini cut and emboss machine is on sale this month? So it's less than $50. It's $48 if you're here in the US, which is a pretty good deal. And they have a bunch of bundles, die set bundles, that are on sale too. So you'll have to check out my online store. It'll be in the description below after I finish my video, and you can go check out the sale if you're interested. Okay, so now I have my 2 little flowers here. I'm going to just kind of separate them here and bend them back into shape. Now, just to save time on the video, I took that same die set, this big one here, and I cut out some, we'll stamp on ours. We'll cut one. I only have to stamp on one of them. But I cut out these scalloped rectangles. Now, I don't suggest you cut those out 2 at a time, because they have that stitching on there, and I think it does affect the stitching when you cut 2 at a time. So I wouldn't cut those 2 at a time. But at least we got our flowers cut 2 at a time, and we'll just quickly make a couple cards here. So I'm going to use grays and blacks for my card today. So I'm going to start with basic gray and that big flower. Now let's see if I can, I say, yeah, you can stamp on this after you die cut, but watching the video I won't be able to do it. But I am going to stick my big head in the camera here. I'm going to put my stamp and just look through the stamp, and see, it is pretty easy to get it on there just right. I'm going to give it a second to let that ink sink in. And then look, you have the perfect little flower there. And it's faster this way. So and it saves paper if you cut the 2 and then stamp them afterwards. So my suggestion is, if you have a bunch of cards that you want to make, at least with this die set, you can do it this way. We'll stamp that one too, hold that down. And then while we're in stamping mode, I'm going to bring in this stamp set. Also has the stamp here that fills in those little flowers. So we're going to just bring in some smoky slate and fill in. And now my smoky slate probably needs to be re-inked. It's pretty light, but I really liked it that way for this card, so I'll re-ink it after I'm done, because it just gives it just that little touch of color there. Let's do this one too. Now that I'm done, I'll go re-ink. Well, not right now, but okay. And then one more, well, two more things of stamping I want to do. Oh, and look, I don't have them mounted. Let's get the words and that little leaf for the inside. So I'm going to stamp my words in black memento here, just right here at the bottom like I did on this one. And it's says you're absolutely amazing. And then I'm going to leave it blank on the inside except for a little leaf, and that way as the events come, because I think this could be good for a congratulations card, a birthday card, a thank you card. I mean, there's just tons of stuff, and I'll stamp that when I figure out which card or what the, well, with this case, because I'm going to send them out as a swap, but I'll probably have some extra ones, and I'll stamp mine, and then the people that get my swap can stamp theirs as they want. Now this is just a piece of thick basic white. It's your normal card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and then I've scored it at 4 1/4, which is down the center, to get a really nice white, crisp white card base. Which I'm going to turn this over. I like to do the bump side on the inside of my card. I think it just folds better that way. Okay, there we go. And now we'll put our little leaf here on a block, and I'm going to ink that up in my black memento, and then just stamp that down in the corner, and that gives it a little something. But then they can either stamp up here, or I can when I'm ready to send my extra swaps and cards out, because I'm going to a class Friday, I think it's Friday, that we're going to swap there. And then my club members that are part of my stamp club, this will be the third card that I send to them. So if you're part of club and you want your card to be a surprise, close your eyes. Okay, so got my card bases. Then I have some of this paper here. This is black and white paper from the Party Patterns. Now that's the Hostess Designer Series paper. So if you look in the catalog, you can see it under the hosts benefits. That's how you can get this paper. And I'm going to run out of tape. Terrible timing. Wait, I have two cards here. But I'm going to just mount this right here on the front flat using my stamp and seal. And let's see, I have one more. Let's see if I can get enough stamp and seal out of my, oh yeah, plenty left. That's probably the end of that, but, whoop. We'll put that down right there. Then let's go ahead and take our little flowers here. And I'm going to mount my flowers just a little bit different here. I'm going to take dimensionals, if I can find some here. Those are mini dimensionals. I want standard dimensionals. Here we go. And I'm going to just put 3 little, well, standard dimensionals right here on my flowers. And then on the very base of my flower, down here at the bottom, I'm going to put just a little bit of glue. And that way my flower stays nice and put. It doesn't, because I think the dimensional, you might be able to cut a piece of dimensional that small. But in this case, I don't think it matters, and my Tombow is not going to cooperate. Okay, hold on. Let me get my silicone mat here so I can get my Tombow to, there we go. Just a little bit of Tombow down here at the bottom. Take those dimensional backs off. And then I am going to just set it right here, and I'm going to try to get it straight, but we'll see. Just like that. Let's do the same thing to this one. So here in Denver, I have to tell you real quick, and maybe, I don't know, anyway. It's really cold. It's like 8 degrees or something crazy like that. And my poor cat loves it outdoors. And all morning he goes outdoors because he has a little doggy door. We had a dog when we first got him and taught him how to use the doggy door. So I hear him all the time going out the doggy door, and he lasts about 2 minutes out there, and then he comes back in. So he's so frustrated because he can't go outside. But I just heard him go out, and I think it's funny because he'll be right back in. It's way too cold to be outside. But if he was a feral cat, I think, before we got him, and he can't lock him in the house. He just goes crazy, and I don't want to do that to him. But poor Paul, that's my cat's name, my daughter, really my daughter's cat that left him with us when she went to college. Anyway, but poor Paul's suffering because of this freezing cold weather. He wants to go outside so bad. I wonder if your cat does the same thing. But okay, so we're going to take this, and you notice I popped it up on dimensionals, and I'm going to just set this in the center. So now we have the front that looks like that, the inside that has that just a little bit added to it too, and then we'll do the same thing with this one. And then take this one and put it here. Now we're going to do that little bow. I'm going to use my my bow maker here. I just think it's a little bit faster. I'm going to set it up so it has one hole in the center here, and then just a quick wrap around. Take that off. Let's make another one real quick. Gotta love the bow maker. In fact, I think I still have one left. I'm sure you've heard this 100 times if you watch my videos, but I made a bunch of bow makers up for my team for Christmas presents, and then with the extra ones, I gave them away as prizes for orders. So if I still have that one, which, yep, I sure do, next person to place a $75 order, I'll send you that bow maker with my thank you card. So I just check out my online store, $75 before shipping and tax, and I'll send you the little bow maker, and you can make bows too. Just as fast and easy as I did. Okay, so we have our 2 bows. I'm going to just take a glue dot here. I might take a pick tool. I'm going to take a glue dot here and kind of fold it in half, and then in half again, so it's just a little glob. And I'm going to set it right here at that, it looks good right there. And then I'll cover it up with that knot, and then that way, and squish it down. It kind of holds the stem down sometimes and keeps your bow on there really nicely. So let's do that again. And then last but not least, as you notice in my card here, it needs a little bling. So I'm using these classic matte dots. Now you can see I've used all the black. On this one, I'm going to use some of those gray. And I like to use one big one and then 2 little ones just here at the base of my flowers. But let me show you now, if you like the black ones better, and like I said, I've used all the black ones here, you can also take a Stampin' Blend, and I think that these vanilla ones or off-white ones are going to be the ones I use the least. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Blend and just color those and make them black again. Now, if you don't have the Stampin' Blends, you can do the same thing with just a black Sharpie. And look, they look like almost exactly the same. So let me get a second, let those dry. I think they're dry enough. Let's just throw it on there. The alcohol in those Stampin' Blends evaporates or dries really fast. So let's, and looky there. So now I have the black ones again. So like I said, this is my swap for that Friday class I'm going to, and this is also the extra class, or the extra card for my stamp club. Now at the end of this video, I'll put that the next video is my stamp club video, so you can see what that's all about. I have a supply list out there for the month of March, and if you place a $30 order, I'll send you the March stamp club kit. So there you go. Let me know if you like my black and white cards. You'll also have to let me know if you like the gray dots better than the black ones. All right, thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday. Bye-bye.